Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to everybody. Thank you so much, guys. Today we are celebrating the 2-year anniversary of the channel, and I'm super excited. I want to give this quick shout out and thank you to everybody before I head out to work. But thank you so much, guys. Really, thank you so much. It means the world to me that we are here. It's been 2 years. We are at almost 40,000 subscribers, over 16,000 different requests of different amiibo battles, of different things, of different fights, all different mashups with different characters. Thank you so much, guys. It means the world to me that I'm able to share this passion of these little guys with you guys, and that the community is growing, and that there is a passion for these guys. I absolutely love these guys. They are just a great little collector's item. They're great to see in battle. It's just, there's just something about them that I love so much. And just all Toys to Life in general. I'm a big fan of Skylanders, Disney Infinity, Lego Dimensions. I've always loved the interactivity of having a physical figure just come to life on the video game. I think it's really cool. It's, yeah, a cheap marketing tactic, but you really got me because they're really cool looking, and it doesn't cost me an arm and a leg to, buy a Samus figure, to where, a really beautiful looking Samus statue from First 4 Figures is really nice and really detailed, but the prices can be a little bit steep. On here, I can spend $12 and get a nice little Samus representative on my wall, if not, tons of characters, various links from various generations of the Legend of Zelda series that I adore, and getting these representatives on here. So thank you so much, guys, for coming to the community, checking us out, taking the time out of your day to come check us out here. It means the world for me, and I hope that we can continue growing in this wonderful and beautiful community, and here's to the future. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you. With that being said as well, I also wanted to do a live update on here to remind everybody that next week on the 17th, Sephiroth will be dropping as a more detailed review character. Sakurai will be doing a more in-depth character review for Sephiroth. And with that being said, usually when the character trailer of more details come out for that character, of how the gameplay works and how he works and how he interacts in Smash, usually the release date is not too far off. So with that being said, there are some folks right now that are actually posting it in the comments as of a couple days ago. Sephiroth will be releasing, we're speculating at least, either on the 18th, the day right after the Mr. Sakurai Presents Sephiroth video comes out on the 17th. The same day, I'm assuming, these are one of 3 speculations that I have. Either on the 17th, the same day, so the video comes out in the morning, and he'll drop later on in the evening, probably around 9 p.m., 10 p.m. On the very next day, so it would be on the 18th, in the evening as well. It's usually, because they usually post it via Pacific time, 9 p.m. Or 6 to 9 p.m. Pacific time that they usually post it here. So they'll do it either the next day, or it will be like Byleth, where it was announced that week, and then it will come out, and it was shown that week, the gameplay for it, and then the actual character dropped the very next week on there. So one of 3 possibilities that we might get Sephiroth's for his fighter on there. Hopefully I will be able to get to use the stage as well. I'm going to be definitely tinkering with that to see what are my limitations on stage, on Sephiroth's stage and everything like that, for the final battle, for the Genova battle, because I definitely want to use it. It just seems really cool stage. I did like that battle at the very end. So and I want to see what the limitations of the copyright really is, because every single time I want to use Midgar, I'm hit with copyright. Sometimes the video is removed. I already have a strike with Nintendo themselves. They still won't tell me what it is, so that way I can see what I need to change or anything. But nobody has till this day told me what it is, and I still have that strike until January. And without the proper information, I can't necessarily fight for or against it to see if I can change it, or actually fight to see it's like if I am in the right to keep using that video for its copyright. Nobody has given me a clear forward answer, and I don't want that to be the case with Sephiroth's level, so I'm gonna kind of tinker with it and see how much can I get away with it, because I really hope I can use that stage. That being said, Sephiroth, man, I wasn't really expecting him, but I'm glad that it's him. Because one, I'm glad that it's a villain. So I kept saying this on the channel before, every time there's been a speculation and everything. I've always wanted either another female character, which I'm glad we got before with Min, Alex, Byleth. I feel like there needs to be more female representatives, and there is a ton of female characters in the video game community that would be great for Smash Edition, and that they're also just really iconic. So one of the ones that I also like to see one day would be like something like Lara Croft. I think would be really, really cool. She's just a very iconic character. Really, I mean, for the PlayStation 1, Sega Saturn era, I mean, she was like the de facto character. Like, she was there, you know, when you see Mario, you see Sonic, you saw Crash Bandicoot. She was always there too. So it would be really cool to see an iconic character like Lara Croft come back. Especially that would be a perfect time for another Tomb Raider revamp as well. So it'd be really cool to see something like that. I've always said maybe a female fighter, maybe a villain. We got a villain, so I was really happy about it. So when I was watching the Video Game Awards, I actually kind of sort of dozed off because I just came back from work, and my wife and I were playing Animal Crossing and had it streaming at the same time. We dozed off, but I managed to kind of sort of wake up right around the time that Galeem got slashed in half, and I'm thinking, well, this is weird. I mean, what would cause that other than like some really crazy, like accurate, like kind of samurai style character or anything like that? And then in comes the music for Sephiroth, and I just couldn't believe it. I stood back a little bit and I kind of paused. I'm like, he's a villain. He's a villain, and I'm okay with this. You know, I respect the fact that he's in there. It's cool to have another person in there, because it's kind of giving that trend of how Ultimate has been adding other characters from different franchises, from previous franchises, from Smash games in there. One of the biggest ones, of course, one of the first announcements, or if not second announcement, was Ridley. When we saw Ridley being announced, everybody was just absolutely crazy. Just because, you know, here is a character that has been asked for a lot, that has finally made it into Smash. Beyond its relative size and everything, the ratio of the actual character, you know, he made it into the series as a villain and as a representative of another franchise, of the same franchise, to just kind of give like that complete whole. It's like, okay, you want somebody Metroid-wise, here you go, here's Ridley. And then they did the same thing around with King K. Rool. It's like, well, and they even emphasized that in the King K. Rool trailer. It's like, well, Mario has Bowser, you know, Link has Ganondorf, Fox has Wolf, Samus has Ridley now, Donkey Kong now has King K. Rool. So it's cool to see how we have these rivalries come into this fighting game, because it kind of makes sense for this fighting game to have these rivalries in there. So for me, it just felt like it was a good choice to have that in there, to have Sephiroth, you know, Cloud's biggest rival, be in the game where Cloud is fighting. I thought that was a really cool addition. So really excited to see that. I'm also really excited to see what the announcements are going to be for the Mii fighters, because as I kind of speculated before, I'm really hoping that they kind of take the time, and I did post this on the community tabs as well. I really hope that for our Mii fighter characters, at least 3 to 4 of them, if not maybe all 5, if not, that they kind of look like this. Like their old PlayStation, Sega Saturn kind of look blocky, or I'm sorry, Sega Saturn, PlayStation PC, and remastered kind of look to them. To the old school Final Fantasy characters, like that old Popeye arm blockiness, short and stuff, because the Mii fighters themselves are already really small. In comparison to like Cloud, for an example. So it'd be really perfect to have these guys represent. So for an example, I would say like, you know, Cloud, Sephiroth, and even possibly Zack as a Mii sword fighter. You have Barret as a Mii gunner, and you don't have to do anything because like the gun is right there automatically to begin with, so it's perfect. And then something like Tifa for and Reno for like Mii brawlers. I think that would be really, really cool and have an overall representative of it. It would just be crazy, crazy awesome to have those being in Super Smash Brothers as well, because then you expand a little bit more of the Final Fantasy character roster in there necessarily. Like, not necessarily, but you kind of do. And it kind of still blends in because it's still of that blocky look of it. I think the best examples would be either just recently with Creeper and Pig, how they got that blocky look to them. Even though, like, Creeper, for an example, uses only, he has 4 legs, the Creeper has now been given arms. So there's some leeway that goes in it with it, so to make it look like that character, and I just feel like they would fit so much into the Mii fighters. So I'm hoping that that becomes the case. And then the other one I was going to say was Akira from Virtual Fighter, Sega's Virtual Fighter. He does not look like the Akira Yuki that we know from Virtual Fighter 3, 4, and 5. He looks like Akira Yuki from VF1 from the Sega Saturn. That's your Sega Saturn reference on there. He looks like old school blocky Virtual Fighter Akira, which I thought was really, really cool. So I hope we get that as Mii fighters. With that being said, folks, being that the Sephiroth announcement has been made on there at the Video Game Awards, people are already requesting for their Sephiroth battle. So just like the Shiroth event that we had a couple months back, we will also be doing a Sephiroth event coming up as soon as Sephiroth is released. So the day that we get a confirmed Sephiroth reveal date, whether it be the 17th, the 18th, or the week after, or whenever he is coming out, we will be doing a Sephiroth event. So if you haven't already, folks, and if you want to see a Sephiroth fighting any of the Amiibos, if you want to have a Sephiroth fight on there, please post on the comments down below of this video or any videos on the channel of your Sephiroth fight, so that way my wife can go ahead and make that list for our Sephiroth event, because she's already started putting on the list. And as soon as that Sephiroth event releases, I will be making those Sephiroth videos and going through those requests in order that they came in to release that Sephiroth event, to start off the Sephiroth event for us next week or whenever the date comes out. So whenever you get a chance, guys, please check that out in the link or in the comments below. Please type in your request on there. So go ahead and do that on there. And then also I will leave the link in the description below of what I will leave is actually leading up to the third thing, and that is of we got Amiibo announcements. So we had the Amiibo announcement for Terry, Byleth, and Banjo, and we now have a date for them. And at first we had a date worldwide, or now we have a date worldwide, but first we had a date for Japan, and now it is a worldwide date, and I'll pull up a picture in here for you guys. It is March 26th, so Banjo, Terry, and Byleth will be coming out those days on March 26th, and I mean, they look glorious. I am so happy. Nintendo has officially updated the channel, or their official website in the channel, to showcase the trailer for the 3 Amiibo, so definitely go check that out on there. I will leave links in the description below for 3, but 2 of them are actually still right now available to pre-order as of right now. So if you want to pre-order Terry and Byleth in the United States right now, Best Buy still has pre-orders open for both, not Terry, I'm sorry, Banjo and Byleth. Terry does say it was currently unavailable, but I'm not sure if they're doing a mailing list right now or anything like that. From what I understand, Best Buy's mailing list is actually really, really good. I did a mailing list in the waves for when the Game & Watch came out, the Super Mario Game & Watch came out, and it was currently unavailable when I went to go purchase it on Best Buy's website. But it did tell me that I was part of the mailing list, and that small waves will be released as the time goes on, and you'll be part of that. You'll be part of that list. So, and it was very shortly after that I was sent the email to saying, hey, these are available to pre-order again. You're part of that list. You know, you want to come in. You're part of the next wave, the group that's coming in. And I was able to pre-order it, no problem. For the Game & Watch, the Super Mario Edition. So hopefully Best Buy will continue to do that again. What's really nice about Nintendo doing this, and I know I mentioned this in the Hero and Joker amiibo unboxing, is that I really like the fact that they've been releasing these amiibo in very small waves in comparison to the old waves that they did for Smash 4 and 3DS. As somebody that used to be a manager at a game store that used to manage these things and request product and all that kind of stuff, this was a disaster when it first came out. I actually talked to the head, and I used to be a manager, one of the store managers for a GameStop, and um, I did ask at one point in time one of the very head leads of product, because they came into the store one time, and the store manager was asking if I can come in and have a chat with him and everything like that. And so I came in as well, and we all chat and we all talked. And this was around the time that the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3DS XL had come out. And that was just, pre-ordering that was a craze and everything. And this was about a month after Wave 2 Amiibo had come out. So Luigi, Captain Falcon, Zelda, a couple of other characters. And they were still very scarce. Finding your Captain Falcons were hard. Villager, Wii Fit Trainer, and Marth were still the trinity of impossible to find. It was a disaster. So these Amiibo waves, and coming out with so many Amiibo in a wave, and just having this huge scarcity. So when Wave 3 was coming out, and I know it had DDD, Wario, Lucina, Robin, a couple of other characters in there as well, I had asked the guy, legitly, if this was a good idea, because the Majora's Mask thing was a disaster. And he said that there was nothing to worry about, that we have everything ready, and we have this new server up and running, ready to go, and everything like that. So I'm like, okay. Come the day for the pre-order for the Amiibo, because that was the biggest thing about that Amiibo Wave 3 release. GameStop was only going to do it via online. You could not pre-order these things in store. You had to either go into the store and order it through the website, through us, which was, it's ridiculous. That thing was just ridiculous. You had to physically come into a store to order something online. You could have done it at the convenience of your house. But that was the thing they wanted to do, because they wanted to push that new service so much, which was ridiculous. So come the day, and they finally did it. They finally decided to release the Wave 3 Amiibo for pre-order as a set and as individual. All the servers were backed up for about 3.5 hours. We managed to get two and a half transactions, because one transaction, the third transaction, didn't fully go through, and there was some Amiibo missing from that third transaction. 2.5 transactions to go through in 3 hours, because 6,000 plus stores tried to connect to one server to try to process all these orders, and everything just crashed. So it was horrible. It was bad. I had a line of people waiting for Amiibo, and all I could do is just apologize and relate to them honestly, because I wanted to do the same thing. As a person that admired Amiibo, I wanted to do the same thing. But here I was in the front lines trying to get other people to get Amiibo, and we couldn't do it. So I'm so glad that they changed the way that they done that, and over the years, I'm super glad that Nintendo has shortened the amount of Amiibo being released at the same time, because now they can focus on releasing more of that type of Amiibo. I was super happy to go into a store not too long ago, the other GameStop that used to be in the same mall as us, is ran by a friend of mine. And I was so happy to go into that store and see that there was a shelf full of Joker and Hero Amiibo. When I went to go pick up my Amiibo from Best Buy, I was so happy to see that there was Joker and Hero stocked for the day. I came in the morning to pick that up, and I was just so happy to see that there were everybody's pre-order set aside, and everybody had just on the shelves, just Joker and Hero Amiibo sit there. And even previous ones like Piranha Plant restocks, King K. Rool restocks. I was super happy to see that. So I'm going to be really happy to see if Nintendo continues to do the same thing, because these are 3 characters that I'm really sure, especially 2. I know not a lot of people are okay with Byleth. I'm super excited to see with Byleth. Kind of sad that we're not getting a female version of Byleth. I really wanted the female version of Byleth, but these are 2 really iconic characters that are going to just fly off the shelf. So I really think that that's a good pace that Nintendo decided, you know, let's make these fewer releases, but let's focus on the fewer releases and let's focus on quantity on there so that way it gets everything out there. And that was a key example with things like Super Mario 3D All-Stars, you know, while I know it has its issues and everything like that, it's not as scarce to find as some things that used to be scarce to find. Like, you know, and obviously consoles are going to be different from games, but you know, finding the Switch was very hard to come when it came out and everything. Sometimes even finding copies of Breath of the Wild at the time was really hard to come by. It's nice to see that, you know, you can go into a store, you know, 7 times out of 10 and you can find Super Mario 3D All-Stars is in there, or the Game & Watch, actually, funny enough, you know, there are stores that are still carrying it. So it's nice that they're focusing a little bit more, even though they're kind of limiting the quantity of those two particular things that I just mentioned. It's nice to see that there is a good amount of quantity that is being released before that time ends. So there's a lot of ways to still grab it. So I hope the Amiibo is going to be the same thing for it. But enough on that rant on there. When you get a chance, yes, definitely check out that links on there to see if you're looking for Byleth and Banjo, to see if they're still available. Check them out on there as well, and hopefully Terry comes out soon on there. But I just wanted to close this up on here for you guys. I do have to go, so I just wanted to wrap this up. But with that being said, folks, thank you so much for coming by and checking out the channel. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for being here with these 2 years. It has been an amazing journey. I hope to continue, and I hope the community continues to grow with us. So that being said, I'm going to head out over here. I need to go to work, and then right after I come back from work, I'm going to start working on more Amiibo. I'm going to pull these shelves down and keep working on more Amiibo. But that being said, guys, thank you so much. It really does mean the world to me that this channel has grown, that this community has grown, that we have just a really positive, nice environment where everybody can just come together to take the time out of their day to just be easy, just to have a breather, to have a smile on their face, because that's the overall goal. You know, it's not, I don't look for fame. I don't want it to be this big, huge thing. My real goal is just, if I can make one person happy, because they took the time out of their day to view one of these contents, and it puts a smile on their face, that makes me happy, and that makes me fulfilled. Like, I have fulfilled something. My goal, my purpose is done. You know, I've fulfilled that goal, and I want to continue doing it, because times are tough. You know, 2020 is tough. Everybody is under a lot of stress. Everybody does have an issue, you know, some more than others. And I understand that, you know, we all understand that. We all respect that, you know. So it's nice to have this nice breather, this nice cool down within all the chaos. So if I can accomplish that, and if I make one person smile a day because of the content that I made, I'm happy. So I hope the channel continues to grow. I hope the community continues to grow, and I hope to see you here, and I hope we get to grow together. So thank you so much, guys, for helping me be part of this amazing community, for being part of this amazing community, and for having this community expand to even things I wouldn't even possibly imagine that would have grown to be the way that it is. Thank you so much, guys. It means the world to me. So with that being said, thank you so much. Take care, be safe, and I hope to see you next year. Smash on, guys.